streaming live, tackling the topics everyone's talking about online. Share, engage, interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Hey, good Thursday to you. Welcome into Newsfeed Now. I am Aaron Nolan. I've got this one hair that's driving me crazy right here. I'm looking at it on the screen here. Trying to get it flat for you so I don't look completely out of place. Let's jump into the 4 hottest stories trending right now in the South, starting with Virginia Senator Tim Kaine and a group of Democrats introducing legislation to ban the use of the death penalty by the federal government. Now, the effort comes after Attorney General William Barr announced last month that federal executions will resume for the first time in more than 16 years, following the 2 recent mass shootings. Attorney General Barr says the administration will propose legislation that would speed up the use of capital punishment in mass shooting cases. Bree Jackson has more.
Punishment must be swift.
The Trump administration wants criminals convicted of mass shootings, like the ones we saw in Texas and Ohio, put to death.
There will be a strict timetable for judicial proceedings.
Attorney General William Barr announced a new focus on streamlining the federal death penalty
that will allow the imposition of the death sentence without undue delay.
President Trump ordered Barr to take action after more than 30 died in the 2 shootings. Cully Stimson with the Heritage Foundation says some crimes are so bad they warrant death sentences.
And I think in a very small select group of cases, very small, the ultimate punishment is the right punishment.
And just last month, the Trump administration announced plans to resume federal executions after an unofficial 16-year moratorium.
Most nations in the world don't have it.
Virginia Democratic Senator Tim Kaine is one of a group of lawmakers who want to ban executions.
As a lifelong opponent of the death penalty, I have joined together with senators to propose ending the federal death penalty. It still would be up to states what state laws do.
Kaine says it's not necessary to deter crime.
We can keep people safe without the death penalty.
For now, federal executions are set to resume in December, and the debate over capital punishment is expected to continue when Congress returns from recess after Labor Day.
Bree Jackson now joins us live from Washington, D.C. Bree, this is one of those arguments, one of those debates, I think, that will continue, whether there's an R by your name or a D by your name, an I, a G, whatever that may be. This is one of those hot button debates that will continue, and I expect it's going to heat up over the next couple of months heading to December.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And in fact, we heard yesterday, it was that House Democrats decided or announced at least that they plan to investigate why the Trump administration is even restarting these death penalty cases. And then also they want more details about the method that the Trump administration plans to use for execution. So this is going to be a very heated debate once Congress returns to session after September. That's also when we expect the Trump administration to finish crafting its policy or its proposed policy regarding executions or speeding up executions for mass murderers as well as cop killers.
I should know this. I'm going to ask you a question that all Americans maybe should know. Why was the federal death penalty put on hold for so many decades?
I mean, there's various reasons. We've always heard from opponents of the death penalty that it was inhumane. So it was something that the federal government just had a lull on or a moratorium on for the past 16 years because it was just a hotly debated issue on whether or not, in some cases, there were people that are on death row that were later found to be innocent because of DNA. So some of it is just advances in technology that have allowed people to do more research and reopen cases, as well as just those calls for an end to the death penalty. So there were a number of things that went into that.
You may not know the answer to this one, but if Senator Kaine does not want the death penalty, and we go back to talking about President Trump ordering Attorney General Barr to take action in the light of the mass shootings that happened last weekend, the weekend before last, what does Senator Kaine think needs to be done as far as the judicial process and the penalty process of this?
I mean, it seems as if Senator Kaine is more so against killing someone, and he's more so against an eye for an eye. And keep in mind, Senator Kaine comes from a state. He was in fact governor of Virginia at the time of the Virginia Tech shooting that left, I believe, close to 30 people killed in that incident, or at least injured. So I think he definitely wants justice. He just does not believe it morally.
Gotcha.
He does not believe in the death penalty.
But as of right now, everything is still a go to resume federal death penalties in December.
Yes, the federal death penalty is expected to resume in December and in January. There are about half a dozen executions that are planned, and so, trust me, there's a legal battle. It's not just the legislation that Senator Kaine has forth. There's going to be a legal battle. So December is still a ways away, and so we could see this once again just postponed, whether or not those executions will in fact take place.
All right, Bree, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time. Young people are spending more and more time on screens, social media. That's where it's at, and we're all constantly bombarded with images. Can all that screen time actually have a negative impact on a teen's body image? It's an interesting question. Mary Stackhouse has the answer.
Scroll through Instagram or Facebook, and it's no surprise that body image is a big focus in today's culture.
With the impact of social media, we're seeing earlier and younger appearance of body image concerns.
Lauren Roberts is a licensed professional counselor. She helps patients who have eating disorders.
Adolescents especially are not really taught how to monitor what they're using on social media, and a lot of times the likes or the comments on certain photos can inspire or reinforce eating disorder behaviors.
Bullying and hashtags can also play into it.
A lot of times people are using hashtags as thinspiration.
Roberts says social media can contribute to eating disorder behavior like restrictive food intake and calorie counting.
Research also shows that there is not a direct correlation between eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, body dysmorphia, not a direct correlation of causing them. However, it's extremely dangerous if there is a genetic or psychological predisposition.
What research does indicate, she says, is a relationship between body dissatisfaction and lower self-esteem. In terms of treatment, Roberts says working one-on-one with a therapist can help, as well as group therapy. Putting the Valley first, Mary Stackhouse, WZDX News.
All right, Mary, thank you so much. Mary now joins us live. She is ready to go here on Newsfeed Now. Anything really open your eyes up here, Mary, as you're doing this story, tackling this story, as far as Instagram causing, really all social media, causing some body issues for teens?
Right. So, I mean, what stands out to me is really, I mean, it's a visual medium. Teens are scrolling on it all the time. I think, you know, children, adults, like we're constantly bombarded with images, and body images, it's such a big thing in our culture, and you can just scroll through social media and see that. And, you know, what I wanted to know was, how is that impacting teens? You know, because, you know, are they feeling the pressure to look like the images they're seeing? You know, is that impacting their own body image? And it turns out from talking to a licensed counselor that can be the case.
It is something that I think a lot of social media companies are even tackling. I know Instagram was talking about cutting down the number of likes, so you can't see how many people like a certain post. Do you think that could help this situation?
I think it could. That's interesting. You know, I think there's something about getting those likes. It makes people feel good.
Sure.
It makes people feel good about themselves, and you know, even down to the pictures they're posting of themselves. You know, I've heard teens say, "Don't post that photo of me. I look disgusting in that picture," or "I look fat in that picture," or "That's not flattering of me." And so, you know, I think beyond likes, it's just wanting to. I think there's a pressure to put a certain image out there of yourself, even because you see so many images of beautiful people, and you know, who knows, some of those could be doctored up, they could be you know, photo edited. We don't know that, but I think that you know, the pressure is there and teens are feeling it.
All right, Mary. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time here on Newsfeed Now. Look, I know that it's definitely something that is part of our society now. Social media is. Whether I post something on Twitter and I go back later and I look at nearly 40 years old, I look to see how many people have liked it, retweeted it, commented on it. It's definitely something that really affects us all. And I think as we grow in this digital society, we got to learn how to kind of curb it. We got to learn how to use it. We got to learn how to grow from it. Seniors in one Arkansas community kicked off the new school year in a colorful way. They covered trees, front yards, and everything else with toilet paper. They even did some spray-painted mattresses. Look, this is a tradition. I actually grew up in this area. I understand this tradition. It's called Senior Roll Night. Targets the homes of junior class students. It's something that's been going on for 3 decades. But while some understand the tradition, others are frustrated that it's making a mess. Rochelle Turner has the story.
Toilet paper and lots of it. Mailboxes stuffed with flowers. And mattresses spray painted in blue and gold.
It's just a tradition. It's fun.
It's called Senior Roll Night, and it's been around for almost 30 years at North Little Rock High School.
I think it's just like an awakening of like, this is who the seniors are this year, and you just got to get ready for it. But it's mess up the juniors' yard.
Chris Palmer lives on Seminole Trail, and ragged paper hooks onto leaves and limbs in his front yard.
Oh, it's fine. Some of it's already fallen down.
A few houses over, this home on Ottaway Drive looks like a Halloween scene.
Some are worse than mine, so it wasn't bad at all.
Kenny Weaver lives in North Little Rock and woke up to a surprise.
We had mattresses in the front yard, probably 100 rolls of toilet paper, and confetti just everywhere. Syrup, mustard.
Weaver says he has no problems with the tradition.
I think as long as they're respectful and don't tear anything up, vandalize anything.
But when it comes to his son, Logan,
he's about to get some bags and get to work.
He and several other students in the junior class have a lot of work to do.
Hate it.
I mean, it's fine. I'm going to do it next year.
And they had this advice for the next class.
Watch out.
Yes, for sure.
All right, I'm guilty of rolling a house or two in my time. TPing, some may call it. Steve made a good point, though. He said that's a waste of good toilet paper. Isn't toilet paper waste anyway, Steve?
You got to use it first.
Moving on. 42 years ago tomorrow, the world lost the king of rock and roll. But the name still lives. His music is timeless. His house is a museum. His planes are attractions. His clothes are must-see. In fact, he's still making money. Last year, $40 million. Elvis Presley is an icon, will never be forgotten. Tonight, tens of thousands of people are going to gather at Graceland to remember him. Now, 2 years, they charged people. For 2 years, they charged them. This year, it's free. The vigil starts at 8:30, but you got to get there early because they're expecting a lot of people.
Tens of thousands of people from all over the world coming out just to pay their respects to the king. We're going to be encouraging people to get here a little early that evening just because MPD is going to be blocking traffic, just to allow the guests to come and gather at the gate.
Jalen Suzak joins us now live. Jalen, this is a big deal. I know exactly where you are. You're at the grave marker for the king. What is this, really the rest of the weekend, going to be like for you guys in Memphis?
Well, you know, it's been actually going on for the last week, so it's a very busy week. There's thousands of people that come from all over the world for Elvis Week. But this is really, you know, the vigil, the prayer vigil tonight is the cornerstone of this week with a lot of people coming out for it. So tonight's really the big deal, but Elvis Week does continue for the next 2 days. But it's definitely the big event is tonight, is that vigil.
All right, so, you know, I've been to Graceland. I've been a part of that culture. I'm a huge Elvis fan. I actually dressed as Elvis on Halloween last year. Is this a celebration of his life, or is this more of a somber vigil that is going to be more a, you know, a sad situation?
I'd love to see that. You know, it's my first Elvis week too. This is my first return since I was 3 years old. I came out here with my mom when I was just a kid, so this is actually my first time back at the grave. But it's a little bit of both, really. You know, you will see people that are crying, that get emotional. They have a deep love for Elvis, but it's also a celebration of his life for sure. You can see just how many mementos are on the grave right now. People, you know, they do get excited about tonight, even though it is pretty somber at the same time.
Well, I definitely, again, I'm a big Elvis fan. Did you notice what his middle name is? If you look on that grave marker behind you.
Aaron, it is.
There you go. And with that, Jalen, I will say thank you. Thank you very much. I had to. I mean, I didn't have a choice. Look, Elvis, no doubt an icon, one of the greatest ever. He is on the Mount Rushmore of all-time artists. Steve, if you argue with me, we are going to have a breakdance battle over that, because Elvis, no doubt, is one of the greatest. Fantastic time. If you've never been to Graceland, I would encourage you to go. Brand new. They opened up Elvis Presley's Memphis. Has a lot more museums there. Very cool. We'll have much more, though, coming up live from Memphis tomorrow on a Finally Friday. With that, that's all the time we have. We'll see you back here on a Friday.
Hey, a little less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. A little more bite, a little less bark, a little less fight, a little more.